And if you keep driving this, you're gonna blow the engine up because all of your oil is gone. Look at the state of the underside of the car. It is swimming in oil. Right guys, this is going to be an interesting one because Amin's bought his car to me today for a cam belt and a couple of other bits, but as he pulled up, he told me there was a bit of a knock-in, so I was like, I'll take it for a drive around the yard. And then, what, about 20 seconds of me driving, the red oil light comes on.
I think the guy didn't just like you. I think that's something.
So what have I always been saying on the Facebook? As soon as the red oil light comes on, turn the car off. And that's literally straight away. It was like, what's that noise? I was like, oh, red oil light, boom, engine off. We've pushed it in. You can see the oil leaks there. The trail goes all the way out to the road. Instead of doing the cam belt, we'll hopefully get the cam belt done as well. But we're now going to address how this has happened, what's gone on. So obviously I wasn't planning on doing a video today, but I figured this is the sort of ad hoc content that you guys might like.
Drama, this is drama.
Yeah, and this isn't scripted, honestly. There's a massive leak under there, but this does bring me to an interesting point. A lot of the times on the posts about the red oil light, someone will say, I've had the red oil light come on, but it's all right, I've done the pickup pipe, I've done the sump, so it must be the sensor. Can't possibly be anything else, so I'll keep driving it. Well, this has just had that done, and if you keep driving this, you're gonna blow the engine up because all of your oil is gone. Look at the state of the underside of the car. It is swimming in oil. Everything is filthy. I'm surprised he didn't lose traction on the rear wheels. I really am. That's impressive how far back that's gone. We've got slight splashes of it up the back there. That's well and truly covered. Everything is dripping. So I can't see any sign of damage on the bottom of the oil, the bottom of the under tray. So I'm going to take that off and see what's going on. So before I show you what's wrong with the car, let's do some engagement farming. Comment down below what you think has caused this massive, massive oil leak. I'm really confused. I think it's all come out the top of the engine, not the bottom. Because we've got oil up here, very wet here. It's clearly, there we go, it's higher up. We've got oil, let's look through the gap there, all the way up there. On the drive shaft. There's something going on up top, isn't there? Right, get the car back down on the ground and have a look, I think. So the plot thickens. We can't see a proper leak around here, but we can see that there's definitely been oil getting onto the cam belt somehow, which leads me to suspect that potentially, rather than a cam cover gasket leak, because that's really excessive, it could be the seal on the camshaft itself as it comes through the head there. So I'm going to need to do a further strip down on that, which obviously I've not got the parts for. We weren't planning on doing today. Need the car to cool down, but it's definitely not going to be finished today anyway. So first thing to now do is drop the customer at the train station, so there's no stress there on time frames. And then I'm going to pull the engine out of this one, and then I can, once this is cold, strip it down further and we'll see exactly where all that oil is gone. All of those nuts came undone nicely. None of them felt particularly loose. We're going to check the coil packs. We already checked one coil pack earlier, but I'm just going to make sure none of the rest of them are showing signs of, no. So it'd be very rare for just the outer gasket to fail and not the internal one. These are all clean as a whistle. Yeah. So let's pop the cover, see how it looks. Well, look at that. Now that I've got the cover off, we can see clearly, I was definitely right, that seal has been blown out. Well, it's nice to find the cause. Well, looks like I need to make a phone call to the customer to get authorization to continue. Because I said I'd do that. I said I'd do the investigation, find out exactly what it needs. I think I'm also going to go for a drive up the road, because I think there'll be a point that may have been weeping for a little while, and then just a bit of pressure and it's just popped it out. What does concern me is it's running a catch can setup, which should mean that there isn't any like pressure issues with inside the engine, but it would take pressure to push that out. A bit of blow by, a bit excessive crank pressure. I don't know. Certainly a strange one that I need to think about as well, because I don't just want to do the cam belt, do the seal, do the cam cover gasket, and then take it for another drive down the road, and then it just pops it out again. That wouldn't be ideal. At the same time, the engine's not really in a condition to have it running and check whether there is too much crank pressure. Bit of a tricky situation, but let me call the customer and see what we decide to do. Okay, the plot thickens slightly. While I was on the phone to the customer explaining what I think has happened, took another look inside the engine, and I think I can explain why this has happened. So the bottom of the rocker cover, very clean and tidy. Someone's been in there recently, and while they were in there, they have changed the cam chain tensioner, which means all of this will have been undone. While they were doing that, it's very easy for them to have knocked that, not put it back in the correct way. Might have only been in 3/4 or half or whatever. I dare say if we take this sensor off, we might see that the other one's the same, but that would explain why it's now not correctly in position. So on my way back from the unit tonight, I thought I'm going to drive slowly, be observant, and see if I can spot where this incident happened. And I think I found the spot just there. Certainly looks like an oil spill to me. So yeah, very lucky, very lucky that it happened just before he got to me. So we've got our 2 new seals, and I've got the engine at top dead center. What I've just done is wedged a bar in through that hole there to hold the cam sprocket so that I can undo the bolt on the end. So that is now loose. I can now do the same for this one, although with this being a much lower torque, I can probably hold on to the camshaft with some pliers, undo that for the hall sensor, and then I'm going to carry on with the cam belt job. Once everything's off, these are loose, I can just take this cap off, change the seals, put the cap back on, carry on with the cam belt job. And then once the cam belt job's done and I'm happy, because I can do that bolt up sort of tight-ish, do the revolutions that the engine needs, make sure I'm happy, and then put the torque on it once that's all done. I've checked my torque wrench will fit in there. I would normally do this, I'd normally take the cams out, wrap them in a rag, put them in a vise, do it that way, but with everything else having already been done, I don't want to be disturbing everything. I will still be make sure the gasket at this end is done for the cam chain tensioner, the half moon still underneath it. I imagine it probably has been, but I want to make sure it's all good. But yeah, I'm just trying to minimise the extra workload really. So I'm just trying to find workarounds. Right, all the cam belt related stuff is out. So we can now take this off. These only go on one way because there is a keyway, which I'm going to hope that you can see. There we go, so it'll only go on that way. But that's safe to say that that seal was not sealing. Look at that. I mean, this is very hard and brittle anyway now by this point in its life. Right, so we're going to clean up the galleries there. That one's full of muck. We'll change the seals over. this up here. And then we reseal just a very thin smear of sealant round here and just put it all back together. Without the top cap on, it's easy to get it in because you just give a bit of upwards pressure as you wiggle gently and it'll fit in there nicely. And then when that cap gets bolted on, it's going to secure it nice and firm. I'm just going to do this one as well. Beautiful. My bit of a janky method for torquing it, but there you go. Happy days. So while it wasn't convenient for the owner to have to leave the car with me, it is convenient for me because now I need to drop this off to him with a wad of cash in my hand because he's going to drop me 20 minutes further down the road to pick up a new car. So this has all worked out kind of nicely. I mean, it wasn't convenient that it's stuck in the unit for a few weeks, but let's make something good out of something bad. You're doing it. Oh man, this car's a hoot and a half, but it's got no aircon, so I'm going to be popping